Is that who I think it is?
Oh my God, Black Santa! I knew Santa was black, man!
Welcome back, it's Rich, and in this episode, Rich reviews Candy Cane Lane. Let's do it. Welcome back to Rich Reviews, no nonsense movie chat from the UK. If you like what you see today, don't forget to check out my other videos. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. So Candy Cane Lane is the latest Eddie Murphy film to hit our screens and is a direct-to-streaming affair just in time for the Christmas holidays. It's a Christmas movie but with a higher budget than the usual straight-to-TV efforts, but was it up to Eddie's classic old standards? I love Eddie Murphy, but his modern movies have been, to be fair, pretty dire, but he has had some absolute belters over the years, and this is his first Christmas film, so I've got high hopes for this one on a cozy evening, cold outside, ready for some Christmas cheer, and his usual great sense of comedy. With Eddie Murphy starring in this, what could go wrong? So the plot follows Eddie and his family living in the quiet little American suburb on Candy Cane Lane, where competition's ultra fierce every year to outdo the neighbour with the best, most outstanding, lavish Christmas decorations possible. Following a string of money woes, Eddie decides to enter the competition presented to the famous street to win $100,000 for the best dressed house. And so off he goes to a store where he's greeted by a magical elf played by Gillian Bell. Being a cheeky elf and unknown to Eddie, she offers him a crafty deal on a unique item that represents the 12 days of Christmas. And so off he goes, confident he will win with his new magical looking enormous mega decoration that actually brings to life the 12 days of Christmas itself. Once activated, all hell breaks loose, and Eddie with his family must put an end to the pesky elf shenanigans and bring back some kind of normality to the street in time for the grand competition night in order to win said $100K in cash. So was it all golden rings or more of a burnt turkey? Well, let's first talk about what worked. The initial plot serves up as a really good and intriguing idea in that the 12 days of Christmas come to life and escape to cause ultra chaos. Picture all the various characters and animals in the song, swans swimming, lords leaping, geese laying, calling birds, etc. All running riot in a town, kind of like the original Jumanji, and you're about there. And unless he gets things back together, he'll become trapped in another attraction inside the Christmas shop as a tiny porcelain ornament character, just like what's happened to some other people in the past, as the film explains. The store where he buys said goods from is fantastically decorated too. It looks amazing. It's the ultimate looking Christmas shop, only run by the not-so-nice elf lady out for some trouble. It's here where he sees the other porcelain characters and learns of his potential fate and challenge ahead of him to rectify the problem. The glazed porcelain characters are great and have a brilliant look to them as they shine beautifully, being ultra glossy, and they have this distinct kind of chink sound as they move around, like real porcelain kind of touching against each other. They look like stop motion animation, but they are just CGI. However, regardless, they're really good, and I do appraise the effects here. It's something new and different in a world of the same old CGI that we get nowadays. The film's also really Christmassy through and through, from start to finish, except for a track field day event later on. It provides a great holiday feel with family dynamics, set pieces, the decoration, street lighting, etc. It looks great, it feels great in that sense. It's an interesting premise, and it did set me up to want to watch and enjoy this. But shortly after the start, this film takes a turn, so let's talk about what didn't work. So I really wanted to like this film going in. I like a goofy, fun, no-nonsense Christmas movie, but man, this one clocks in at over 2 hours long, and it's not great. It starts good, but it gets much weaker very quickly after. Let's be clear and fair too, I really like Eddie Murphy. He's got a string of great films, and I love his comedy and mannerisms, but his recent stuff, more the films than him, are really poor. I love the old classics like Trading Places, Coming to America. I really enjoyed the recent Coming to America 2 sequel, and while being a total nod to the previous films, offering nothing new, it brought back all the characters and actors, and I had a nostalgic blast with that. But that's the only film of recent memory I can actually remember. Everything else goes right back to things like Beverly Hills Cop, Raw, Nutty Professor, 48 Hours, etc. But this is yet another poor effort in now a pretty long line of recent poor Murphy films. We get the elf, played by Gillian Bell, who, like the film as a whole, is intriguing at first, but then quickly just starts to become annoying and a silly character as things progress, to the point it felt like a character was spoiling the film in the way she talked with a ridiculous, over-the-top, corny bad guy accent. The porcelain figures, again, interesting and a great effect, but spoilt by bad jokes that don't land, and a bunch of them randomly blurting out Christmas carols to purposely annoy people in the film and us as the viewer in a similar way. Similar to the screaming goats that we got in Thor Love and Thunder. It's a joke that just repeats and gets irritating very quickly. We get, at one point through the film as well, bearing this is a Christmas film, we get a sunny Olympic track day event at some kind of high school, college or university in the middle of winter while all the streets are covered in snow and it's minus whatever outside. But it's glorious and nice there. And it's a trial day, so Eddie enters his daughter in the running kind of competition, whatever it is, to impress the talent spotters. It just seems strange and really veers off the main Christmas story and theme by a mile. And then for Eddie to get attacked at the same place by the Lords of Leaping. These are kind of martial arts dudes in tuxedos in the middle of a field in the Olympic track. Yet the reactions of the parents and spectators was, just like in a lot of films like this, nothing how anyone would react in real life in the slightest. We also get two commentators on a TV show televising the live competition street lighting event. And again, they start quite good and funny, it makes you smile. But then it just goes on and on and on as they kind of go back to the person who's reporting to, who's just ridiculous. And in the end, the jokes just collapsed. They come way too overused and irritating. It just starts to get too much. It's one of those films that just refuses to end, and I found myself really wanting it to end. But then we get another scene, and then a car chase, and then more, even a mid-credits scene. I mentioned the CGI, the porcelain figures being great too, but we also get some really bad scenes as well. The first shot of the film, the very first thing you see is two people snowboarding on sand, which can be done in real life. That's not what's ridiculous. It's the look. They're just graphics. They're kind of just people floating. They've got no weight or realism to them at all, and it looks absolutely terrible. Even my missus noticed this, and it's a rare comment from her. And we're talking about literally 3 seconds into the film. It's the first shot. The performances throughout are all fine, with the family doing the best they can with the script. But with this story, they are ultimately on a road to nothing. So my final thoughts. This wasn't a great film for me. I'm going to give this one a 1 out of 5. I could edge to a 2, but I've got to say a 1. It's not even as good as Genie that I saw recently, and I didn't rate that either. It doesn't matter if you love Eddie Murphy either. It's a bad film with a good actor in it. Again. I can't recommend it even if you have Amazon Prime, as I think you could do something better with the 2 hours that it'll be, to be fair. You may as well watch Coming to America 2, the sequel, if you've not seen that. And I think many won't even know that came out as well, and it's really good, to be fair, if you liked the first one a lot. With this, though, you're just going to end up checking your phone while it's on. It's forced acting, flat comedy, all wrapped up in a long, odd film. I mean, just look at this poster image on screen now. This says it all, really. I can't imagine cool 80s Eddie Murphy being proud of that look. So what do you think of Candy Cane Lane? Leave a comment below. But until next time, keep smiling, peeps.